Before we get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. You guys, this is just the case that will not quit. There is so much more stuff that has come out about the Chris Watts case and situation over the past week and a half. I was on vacation and my phone was blowing up. Ding, 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 ding. The whole entire time I was like, hold up. I'm literally in the bathroom on family vacation going, what the heck? What the heck? What the heck? So let's get into this. If you guys don't know who Chris Watts is, which I assure you all do, really quick, he is the man in Colorado who killed his family, his pregnant wife, and his two precious little baby girls. Now, there's some speculation. Allegedly, he has done it all by himself. There's a lot of speculation that maybe either other people knew about it or other people were involved. Nevertheless, he took a plea for guilty and he was sentenced to multiple life sentences as well as some extra, I think it's 48 years because of his pregnant wife and his unborn child, Nico. That is the rundown. I'm sure you guys, if you need more details, I have a ton of videos. You guys go and check them out. So let's just start. There is a lot to unpack today. I think I'm going to have to do 2 videos. I'm going to try to put out a second video for you guys on Wednesday about this, so just hang tight with me. So it looks like, allegedly, Chris Watts is on the way or trying or hoping to file what is called a 35C appeal. And if you guys don't know what it is, no worries. I didn't know what it was either. I had to research. In Colorado, they have what is called a 35C appeal, and that is for somebody that has already been sentenced, took it to trial, took a plea deal, whatever. They have no other appeals left, or they cannot challenge their case. And this is kind of like a loophole. Quickly right here. I mean, I watched, you can look up YouTube videos and stuff where there's lawyers that are talking about, in their words, what a 35C appeal is. I watched one video where the lawyer was saying it is one of the highest honors as a defense attorney to be able to file or win a 35C. But nevertheless, this says, 35C of a Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure, it allows defendants to raise certain claims in the trial court even after they have been convicted and exhausted all of their direct appeal rights. There is a YouTube channel where a woman is talking specifically to Chris while he is in prison, and she posted little snippets. I mean, I think one was 20 seconds, the other one was 40 seconds of conversations with her and Chris Watts while he's been in prison. And in one of them, he talked about getting his sentence reduced and hopefully getting his sentence reduced. So he is thinking that, and he is wanting to get his sentence reduced. What he's planning on getting it reduced to, I have no idea. We're going to get into all of that. So if you guys are wondering if he is actually hoping, yes, and I know a lot of y'all have said, there's no way it's going to happen. There's always a way. There is always a way, a loophole. We all know of at least one case where we knew for sure that they were guilty. All the signs there were guilty in our opinions, and then they got off. So things do happen. I don't know if it's going to happen with Chris Watts, but he definitely has a large support group. He definitely has people on his team, and he is going to try. So we will be right here waiting and watching while he does. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. Part of me kind of hopes that he does get a new trial. That way we can hopefully find out what really happened. All of the details of what exactly happened. Obviously, he wouldn't take it back in front of the judge and get a retrial if he's going to tell them the same exact story as that he told in the beginning, right? Maybe new information will come out. However, the biggest part of me doesn't want him to go through that because I feel for the family. Shannan's family probably does not want to have to go back to court. They probably don't want to have to be drugged through this. They want to move on with their lives as much as possible, which is probably very difficult since their daughter was murdered and their grandchildren were murdered. However, if he does take it to trial, or if he does get to file this 35C, hopefully more truth will come out. And if there was anybody else involved, justice will be brought to the family, as well as Shannan, Nico, and the girls. Because if there was anybody else involved in this at all, like, justice needs to be served. That's just what it is. Okay, moving on from that, like I said, there is a lot to cover. If any of you guys were on YouTube, and I'm sure a lot of y'all were because y'all were all sending me the videos, there was a channel. They have since, I think, deleted their channel or changed their name. There was a channel that said something about stop victim bashing Nicole Kessinger, who was claiming to be Nicole Kessinger's family.
Hi, this is Nicole's cousin. My name is Jania. You know, you harass every friend and family member that Nicole has. When Chris Watts is the one who killed his family.
They said Nicole was pregnant. She had at the time of the situation that happened with Chris and the girls, that Nicole was pregnant and that she has a 19-month-old little girl. That's Chris Watts' baby. And that she was living with them and she couldn't find a job.
Also, as far as how long they dated, it's really like she said, it's just no one's business, okay? It doesn't matter how long they dated. So, Nicole's not even like a homewrecker or anything. So, it's just like really unfair. And she got fired from her dream job, you know, like that it took her forever to get that job. And then now, like, she can't even get a job. And she suffered drug addiction.
Like, they just went and they told all of this stuff. And so many of y'all were sending me that. And I was just waiting to see. And allegedly, last week, Nicole was going to come on live and defend herself. And I just kept thinking, like, why would this woman go and change her name, be in hiding, just to come out on a YouTube channel? You know what I mean? And tell all of her business. So I was skeptical. I was waiting to see what was going to happen. And then like a couple days after she was supposed to go live, Nicole was, and she didn't show up, they changed all their info. So I had a feeling from the beginning that it was people that were lying. I still feel like that. If she comes out, we'll find out. But nevertheless, it does make you wonder though, like, when they were saying, this channel was saying that Nicole Kessinger has a 19-month-old little girl. Now, I don't, like, this is all alleged, okay? This was not me saying any of this. She has a 19-month-old little girl, and that's why Chris Watts took the blame, so they could hide the baby. Like, that does make sense, though. You guys got to admit, like, you would think, that explains why he won't talk bad about Nicole, because she has his kid hiding somewhere. But I don't believe that. I really don't. Especially when you hear Nicole Kessinger's dad in the interviews with the CBI agent and how protective he was. A lot of y'all thought that that was her lawyer, but no, that was her father. I really doubt her dad was going to let her just go on YouTube and start ranting and telling all of her business. So it was entertaining, to say the least. Now, this is something interesting, okay? In April of 2018, Shannan spoke with a lawyer. They were at like this dinner place or something like that. I'll leave the video linked down below. It was an interview with the lawyer. I don't know if he was talking to a CBI agent or something like that. Shannan was at a restaurant or something like that with one of her friends from out of town, and they sit you at these tables with other people. One of the men that was sitting at the table happened to be a lawyer, and so Shannan and her friend just started talking to him, because that's what you do. You talk to everybody while you're eating or whatever, and Shannan started asking him questions about a divorce. And he said, "Are you looking to get a divorce?" And Shannan and her friend just looked at each other. So this lawyer that was sitting at the dinner table with her got the impression from her in April of 2018 that Shannan was considering divorcing Chris. Now, that is something new, okay? That is a new information. And before I go any deeper into this, that is a big reason why I preach to you guys all the time. Do not look at people's Facebook posts and think that that's their life. That's their whole entire life. It is tiny bits and pieces of their life. Okay, trust me. I know. I do YouTube. I post on Instagram. I always try to tell you guys, like, you see people's highlight reels, although I pretty much tell you guys all my troubling business as well. But not everybody's is like that. But If you looked at Shannan's Facebook, you would think they had the perfect marriage, okay? But even she was considering divorce for some reason. We don't know. Now, talking about that was in April of 2018. In my personal opinion, that to me just solidifies even more that Chris Watts and Nicole Kessinger, in my personal opinion, were messing around longer than they admitted in the interviews. Because according to Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts, they were only messing around starting in June and in a little bit into July and stuff, like 6 weeks, according to NK, right? But we also know that she was Googling Shannan Watts and she was Googling Chris Watts back in 2017. We also know that Chris Watts allegedly told Sherilyn Cadle that he introduced Nicole Kessinger to Shannan in 2017 at like some town fireworks event or whatever. And so that would make sense to me why possibly Shannan was feeling uncomfortable or something and was questioning about a divorce. And then maybe decided she didn't want to get a divorce, decided she wanted to fight for her marriage. With that being said, I'm not sitting here saying that Shannan was a perfect wife and that she was an angel and Chris just was this terrible, terrible husband. That's not what I'm trying to say. I don't know what kind of wife she was behind closed doors. I don't know. We know what neighbors have said. We know friends say that she was very overbearing. She was super bossy and all of that. That doesn't matter. That's not enough that's no reason to take somebody's life. But that solidifies to me, in my personal opinion, even more that I think Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts were messing around longer than what they said. I just do. I really do. Shannan felt something was off and for whatever reason and decided she wanted to fight for her marriage. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody that is a married woman and knows lots of married people, marriages have ups and downs. They do. There's times in like you see these people that have been married for 50 years. Do you think in that whole 50 years that neither one of them ever thought about leaving or divorcing? It just never happened. Okay, maybe you've been married for 50 years and it just never has crossed your mind. But most people have that thought at some point, whether they follow through with it or not. Like it just is what it is. I know this couple, they're in their 90s. Okay, they've been married well over 60 years now. Okay, the wife just told the husband recently that if he gives any more money to their addict son, she was going to divorce him. And they're in their 90s. Okay, and they've been married over 60 years. Like that happens. It literally happens. So I don't look at Shannan any different type of way because she was questioning or thinking about a divorce. But we do know that she wanted to fight for her marriage. She did. Because when she came back home, she was hoping to fight for her marriage. She was texting her friends. So. And if you're wondering why I'm even bringing this up, thinking like, Christina, why does it matter how long they were dating? It doesn't matter how long they were having an affair or whatever it actually was. To me, it does matter because if they will lie about the little things, of course they'll lie about the big things. If they're lying and telling little tiny lies, there's a reason why. They're hiding something. If they're doing that, that's my personal opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I don't know, you guys. What do you think about that situation? Something else that I think is very, very interesting. Oh my gosh, I have so much to talk about and we're already well into the video. Oh, and I still have so much more. Anyways, Chris Watts allegedly told Sherilyn Cadle, as well as his dad now. I've heard his dad say this because his dad's done some recent interviews, that he wished he would have just went to the Rockies game the night that he went with Nicole instead, the night that he ended up killing his wife and his 2 girls, right? My question is, if you guys don't know this situation, the night that he killed Shannan, the night that Shannan came back in from out of town, he went on a date with Nicole, okay? But he had a bunch of friends. I think he said he had like 2 or 3 different friends that invited him to go different places. And he thought about it like, maybe I should go to the Rockies game with my friend instead of going with Nicole. But he brushed the thought off and he went out with Nicole. Now, he has allegedly said multiple times now to not only Sherilyn Cadle, but his own father, and God knows who else he said it to, that he wishes he would have just went to the Rockies game instead. Now, why? What happened between him and Nicole that night that he regrets going? He doesn't say he wished he wouldn't have, killed his wife. He says he wished he would have went to the Rockies game instead of going with Nicole. Now, what happened with Chris and Nicole that made him feel that way? That is very interesting to me. And I feel like people keep saying that. Even his own dad keeps saying, yeah, Chris says he regrets going, he wishes he would have went to the Rockies game. So you're telling me, Chris, that if you would have went to the Rockies game instead of going on a date with Nicole, everything would have been different? Why? That's what I want to know. Why would it have been different? What happened with Nicole that made it so different? We'll never know because the investigators didn't dig. Now, I'm going to start talking a little bit about Chris's dad in the interview that I heard. And I want to say, first of all, that it breaks my heart to hear his dad talk about Chris, okay? Because I'm a mother and I know that we love our children, right? And when I hear Chris's dad speak, his name is Ronnie, I hear a father trying to make sense of it and just wanting to believe the best in their child. And any mother knows that feeling. Like, you want to look for the good in them. You want to explain it away. You want to fix it in some way. And he can't fix it. So he's doing the best he can. So my heart breaks for him. And I don't want to bash him by no means. I am going to pick apart a couple things that he said, but I do want to say that I understand that he's a father that loves his son, and he just wants to make sense of it all. And I can't say that I would do anything different, so no judgment to him. However, in the interview Ronnie did here just recently, he was talking about Chris Watts' emotions. And the woman that was talking to Ronnie and saying, talking about Chris Watts not showing any emotions with anything, right? You guys got to remember, Chris Watts stood up there and did that interview with the news while he knew what had happened to his wife and kids. Okay, before I play this clip, I want you guys to keep in mind that at this time, he had already killed his wife and kids. As far as we know, he is trying to change his story a little bit now, but nevertheless, killed his wife and kids, drove 40 minutes with them in his truck, shoved their bodies. You know the deal, what he did to his pregnant wife and his 2 baby girls. Comes back home, spends time talking to his mistress, laying on the bed that he had choked his wife on, all of that, and then he gives this interview. So keep that in mind while you're listening to him.
I mean, right now I don't even want to just throw anything out there. I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But, I mean, could she just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, I want them back now. That's what's in my head. If they're safe right now, they're going to come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. If they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just barrel rushing me. But it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
And he was completely emotionless, maybe even smiling a little bit, that whole situation. And so a lot of people had a lot of questions of we've not seen Chris Watts cry. We have not seen him be emotional. He's a narcissist. He's a sociopath, Well, now Ronnie, of course, Chris Watts' dad, is trying to explain it away almost and saying how he doesn't show emotions. And he gets that from him, his father. Chris Watts gets it from his father. And then Ronnie gives a couple examples. He says, I don't cry very often. I've cried recently because we got baptized. And after we all got baptized, we all hugged each other and we got emotional. And then I also cried at Bella and Cece's memorial. We did a little memorial for them. We released balloons and I cried there. But other than that, I don't really cry. And I thought if Chris Watts, I know that we want to explain away our children, right? And you want to make sense of this. But if Chris Watts does not get emotional at the fact that his whole entire family is dead, what else would make him cry? What else would, and I'm not saying that he has to cry, but show emotions, okay? I'm not saying that everybody shows their emotions and everybody grieves differently, right? Okay. But if you're trying to explain away that you're not an emotional person and you're Chris Watts showed no emotions over his children and his wife, them dying, whether he did it or not. Like, what else can make you show emotion other than your whole entire family dying? Like, what, stub your toe? You don't get paid? You lose your job? I mean, what can be worse than you losing your whole entire family, whether you did it or not? Like, I just, when I heard him say that, I thought to myself, that, to me, that doesn't make any sense. You cried that you got baptized. Your son shows no emotion when he kills his whole family. Like, something's not right there. I'm sorry, something is just not right there. All right, you guys, so as I was editing, I remembered something. You guys remember this clip right here? This is from where Chris Watts went with the police next door, his next door neighbor's house, and looked at their security camera footage. He showed some emotion here. So while people that are on his team, I get it, they're trying to take up for him, but they're trying to say he shows no emotion. Oh, let's watch this clip together. I mean, call me crazy, but that looks like some emotion to me. It looks like concern, worry, fear, all of the emotions Chris should have been having over his family being missing. However, this is where he shows emotion. You want to know why? Because he was scared of getting caught. Oh, but that's not all. He's going to go right into another lie. All right, you guys, so you see the still shot on the left? That looks like emotion to me. It looks like fear, concern, worry, all that stuff we just talked about. The picture on the right is a still shot from his media interview on his front porch where he was talking about how he just wanted his family to be returned safely and he just wanted to make sure that they were okay, although he knew that he had drove 45 minutes and disposed of their bodies. So I get it that his family and his friends and people that are rooting for him are trying to explain away the reason why he doesn't show emotions, but he does show emotions when he does not want to get caught. He wanted to get away with murder, in my personal opinion, and this should show you right here that he absolutely has emotions, but when it's going to affect him. And the last thing we're going to talk about in this video, and I have so much more, so you guys make sure you subscribe and like the video. Do you guys think it's weird that Chris Watts' mother, and his mother nor father, but his mother is the one that specifically I've heard talk about this, and I could do a whole video on Chris Watts' mother. I know she's a mother that loves her son and wants to think the best for him, but some of the things that she says, in my opinion, is, you guys go and watch things of her and form your own opinion. So we'll just say that. But I listened to a phone call that Chris Watts had with his mother since he's been in prison. And in there, she's going on and on and on the phone call about how she'll never turn her back on him. She's always going to be there for him. She's not going anywhere. I'm right here, Chris. We're not going anywhere. I'm right here, Chris. We're not going anywhere, which is awesome. I get that. You're a mother. You're not going to turn your back on your child no matter what. Okay, I get that. However, they wouldn't go to his wedding because they didn't like her. Like, they didn't like Shannan. You know, they didn't go to birthday parties with the girls, allegedly, because they didn't allegedly get along with Shannan. But you've got his back now. It seems a bit weird, right? Like, oh, you'll be there for him every single day. You talk to him. You're there for him when he kills his whole family, but you won't be there for him when he gets married because you don't like his wife. I don't know. It just seems unbalanced and a little bizarre to me. You guys tell me. What do you think? Part of me feels like his mother is possibly, I feel so bad even saying this because I know that like this has got to be hard for them, but this is my opinion. She comes off to me as one of those mothers who that's her baby boy and no other woman is, you know, can be there for him or love him like I love him type of mom. And when Shannan came in the picture, she was jealous of Shannan because Shannan took his place. And now that Shannan's out of the picture, she can get herself back in that number one woman spot. That's just the vibe I get. Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm a boy mom too, but that's just the vibe I get. So what do you guys think about all this? Stay tuned for the second part to this because make sure you guys like the video, please, as always. And until next time, I love you guys so very much. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye. Love you guys. Bye. We are dreaming.